want to know what's the one thing that you see new hypnotists needing after graduation.
Hello, everybody. Banyan here. Welcome back. Oh, I hope you watched the previous two videos I just did with RaeAnn Rosario. You know what? She is a marvelous example of somebody who's getting off into this profession, new and fresh, and she's got some really good perspectives. You know, we talked about, an interview of her on the first one, and then we talked about what it was like to do hypnosis and be your own boss, to have your own practice. So if you haven't seen them, go back and see them. And now what we're going to do, well, let me do a quick introduction of her. RaeAnn is a certified hypnosis professional and strengths coach. She uses hypnosis to help people go from here to there, to really build on their strengths. Her practice is called Free Reign Hypnosis, and that's rain, like not rain from the sky, but rain like to be a king or queen. She'll straighten me out on that if I'm not right. She felt called to do something more fulfilling than her previous career in marketing and sales. And she initially was certified through the National Guild of Hypnotists, but she felt a little lacking and she wanted to move on to something that was more powerful. She saw me teaching the time tunneling technique and said, I need to learn more about that, and wound up in my class. And now she's just rolling along, seeing clients, helping them out. Let me see what else. She ended up, okay. Oh, that's enough for now. How you doing, RaeAnn?
I'm good, Cal. How are you?
I'm rocking it. Very happy to have you here. And I haven't had a co-host on for a while, so I think everybody's going to be relieved and not go through another Cal only episode. So good. What do you want to say?
Well, I want to give you a wonderful introduction too. That was awesome. Thank you so much for that. I think Cal Banyan is our fearless leader, creator of 5 Path, 7th Path, Ultimates, Aspirations, My Best Life Path, Secret Language of Feelings. I mean, the list goes on and on. But ultimately, you are the creator of an awesome community that brings us all together as one big family. You say we are the 1%, right? And that is because of you. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. So last two episodes, she had to work, and I grilled her. And so now I said, okay, now she can. Last one was about how to be the lady boss of a hypnosis office. And now she's going to continue in her lady bossiness and just ask me some questions and drill me. And I know she's going to ask some good questions that somebody will get something out of. All right, fire away.
All right, awesome. Thank you for this opportunity. When I think I have Cal Banyan and I just need to pick his brain, I want to know what's the one thing that you see new hypnotists needing after graduation.
This is the one thing. I'm really big into focusing on the most important stuff. But the problem with most training is that it's wide, not deep. It's like taking a psychology 101 class, and they give you a little bit of this, a little bit of history, some vocabulary, maybe this kind of tell you about this technique, and then it's not adequate for you to go out and be a psychotherapist. then that's the problem with most hypnosis training. And they go, now go out and be a hypnotist. And you are at best a jack of all trades, master of none. So what they really need is they need to have training that really focuses down so that they can get started seeing clients without being scattered. And a lot of people are comfortable in the student zone, and they'll just jump from one class to another class to another class. Then they'll take NLP, and then they'll take Ericksonian, and then they'll take kinesiology and astrology and on, and never ever buckle down, right? But if they get the proper training, like 5-path training, then they can go deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And what happens is, as they go deeper into it, their knowledge becomes wider, because you can work with anything if you're properly trained in 5-path. And I'm going to add a number 2 to that too. The other thing that most hypnotists do that screws them up is they don't have confidence. And the reason they don't have confidence, there's a number of reasons. They might not have confidence in hypnosis. They might have not have confidence in themselves, and they may not have confidence in their training. So if they don't have confidence in themselves, well, what should they do? They should either learn 7-path self-hypnosis or go see a 5-path hypnotist so they can work through that. And the other thing is they don't have confidence in hypnosis. This is a terrible failure of most hypnosis trainings, because one of my main goals in hypnosis training is to turn every one of my students into a true believer. Then they can be graduates. Because if you don't believe that hypnosis is real, how do you go out there and really, apply yourself to it or tell other people they should be seeing you if you're iffy about it? Believe me, behind the scenes, I've talked to some really well-known hypnotists that go, Cal, don't tell anybody about this, but I'm not a very good hypnotist. In fact, I don't even think hypnosis is real. I go, what a hypocrite. Hypocrite, right? So one is that they don't believe in hypnosis. They don't believe in themselves, so they don't have confidence. The other thing is they need to drill in class to start building that kernel of confidence. That's why every day in class, we do about an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening of just practicing what you've learned. And then not only that, I teach you how to keep drilling. Because if it takes you a month to see clients, then your confidence begins to fade. So it's drill, learn how to drill, and then keep drilling until you actually are seeing clients on a regular basis. That's what professionals do. Think about other professionals. Sports people, what do? Tennis players do tennis drills. The tennis players, golf people, they go out to the driving range and they drill, practice. You take the actor, that person reads their lines, gets coaching, reads their lines, and develops. It's like that in every profession. And then the new hypnotist goes, well, I've read a book on this and I listened to my teacher for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. I'm ready. Baloney. If you haven't done it, especially supervised practice, you are probably going to fail. And I want to tell you something right now. It's not your fault. A lot of the training programs out there, it's almost as if they wanted you to fail so that they could teach you something else. How's that, RaeAnn?
Wow, I think you made like 3 or 4 really good points that I'm sitting here and I'm like, that's me. That was me. I was definitely the type wanted to go wide. I learned NGH hypnosis, then I did NLP and EFT, and I just kept going. I'm like, well, if I learn the next thing, I'll always be prepared. And that's not the case, right? We have one thing that we focus on here. And that one thing consists of a lot of things, but when you know the foundation and you know the formula, you can't fail. So that's where the confidence comes in. And if I can wrap it up, what you just said, I think what you're getting on is implementation right away, immediately, practice and go deep, and focus on the one thing. And I think that was lovely.
Good. I want to say something about the NGH. Now, the NGH has been around for a long time, and they do a lot of good. And I'm very dedicated to the NGH. So I don't want it to sound like I'm just dissing the NGH. The NGH has an introductory program. It's meant to be introductory. The power of the National Guild of Hypnotists is in their numbers. And we need an organization like that with great numbers. To get great numbers, the door has to be wide and the threshold has to be low. And then their way of compensating for that is by bringing other professionals like myself into the fold that does advanced training. Okay? In fact, we've done so good at that we are 5-pathers are the only form of hypnosis that is recognized by the National Guild of Hypnotists as a particular group, a special interest group within the organization. The only other 2 special interest groups that I know of within the National Guild of Hypnotists is NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, which isn't really a form of hypnosis, and then the clergy. which again isn't a kind of hypnosis. So, I'm a member of the National Guild of Hypnotists. I've been a member for, I think, a current count about 27 years, and probably over 20 of those years, I've been to the convention. So I love the National Guild of Hypnotists, but you got to think where it fits in. It's an introductory program, and then you're supposed to go get more training. And that's why they bring big names like Cal Banyan to there, or the Solid Gold Weekend that they have in Las Vegas, so that we can lift the members from beyond that basic training. Does that sound fair to you, RaeAnn?
It does. And I am forever grateful to the NGH and to my original instructor. I would not have found, I was a little lost when I was joining the profession, and I didn't have much experience before then with hypnosis. And so I found you, and I found my people, and I found the next thing that I wanted to do from them. And if they weren't so vast and so far and wide, I wouldn't have. So beyond grateful to them.
Perfect. Okay, question number 2. I'm ready.
All right,
Stump Cal Banyan. Stump.
I'm going to. I think since we were just talking about starting new businesses and being your own boss, if you, Mr. Cal Banyan, was starting your business today in 2023, your hypnosis business, how would you start it?
Okay.
What would you do?
Super easy. Okay. So I'm nobody knows me, right?
Right.
Okay. But I still have that 25 plus years of experience, or not?
No, you're brand new. You just went through the training, whoever's training, you're starting your business.
Okay. I'm a brand new 5-path certified hypnotist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I would do is I'd immediately try to get in Cal Banyan's Mastermind Accelerator program, so I could get coached every week along with some of my classmates. But this is what he would tell me to do. Okay, is you got to keep drilling. You take out that workbook where it has the exercises in it, and you keep drilling. Just like a new piano player, a new guitarist, you got to get your chops, right? Because one of the greatest fears amongst new hypnotists is, what if they discover I'm new? What if they ask me how many clients I've seen, and I've only seen 1 or 5 or 4, right? That'll be so embarrassing. Okay, this is what you do, is you drill. If you've done it over and over and over, like let's say you've done an induction 100 times, right? You're not going to the question, how long you been doing this? Unless you're like 18 years old, and so far, not a lot of 18-year-olds out there being 5-path hypnotists. So when you come across as knowing what you're doing, that's not what happens. So number 1, drill. Really be able to do your chops, induction, deepening, covert testing, be able to do the things you learn in class. Let the words just roll off your tongue. Then the second thing I would do is I would say, gosh, faster is better. That's one of the Banyanisms. Faster is better. And I would go into business right away. And I do that by saying, gosh, what do I need? Oh, wait, I already have everything I need to see people around the world. And I'd set up my laptop or my PC or Mac or whatever it is. And I would make sure I've got good, reliable internet. Like before I signed on today, one of the first things I did is I did an internet speed test. And I've got over 200 megabits. And I go, awesome. Zoom only requires 10. But you want to make sure you have good internet. Once you've got that, then what I would do is I would start, and RaeAnn's going to recognize this because the advice I gave her, is I'd start putting out to everybody on Facebook or whatever, and I'd even advertise that I was recently reminded by a mentor of mine that it's part of my responsibility as a hypnosis professional to educate the population where I live and even around the world if I can on hypnosis and the process of using hypnosis to improve yourself. So what I do is I've decided I'm going to take on for free 3 clients this month where they don't have to pay anything. And you're going to get to have an informational, what I call feel-good hypnosis session. We're not going to work on anything. It's just a chance to learn about hypnosis, learn about what it's like to be a hypnotist, my take on things, and just to experience going into hypnosis. If that's of interest to you, give me a call. And then you get some people coming in. Guess what? These are the best practice partners in the world. In class, you got practice partners, but there's a part of your brain going, yeah, but those people knew what we were doing, and that's why it worked for them. So you get these other people in. These are low pressure people because they didn't pay you anything. You don't really have an obligation to them. Like if they're paying $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 for a session, right? So it's just a feel good session. Your job is to answer their questions about hypnosis, give them the pre-talk, and then have them have a positive experience. And we can do that. If you can't do that, your hypnosis training was lacking. Okay. So that's what I would do. I'd start doing those. And so what I would do, it would build my confidence as a new hypnotist. And when somebody emerged, I go, oh, and you do feel good, don't you? And they go, wow, that was awesome, right? I go, hey, one of the things I did was I'm doing this because I want to educate the public on hypnosis, what it is, it's real, and all this kind of stuff. If I sent you a link to my Google and Yelp accounts where you could just say a few words about this experience, would you do that for me? And, no pressure. Now, one of the things is, since this person came in for not a improvement kind of thing, a self-improvement thing, like they didn't have to admit to, well, I had an alcohol problem, or I was a closet smoker, all these things that people would be hesitant to talk about. They'll just go in and say, wow, I had a hypnosis session with RaeAnn, and afterwards, I never felt better. She's so good. She explained everything to me. Boom. How would you like a 5-star review like that? And you can do it, do it, do it, do it. And so one of the most important things when you're getting started is to get those 5-star reviews, because most people are typing in hypnosis sessions 4. And then the Google comes up and it gives them the hypnosis people near me. And to even be in the running, you need to have 5 reviews. But you could do that and get 15, 20 5-star reviews. So that's what I recommend. Then what would happen is the phone would start ringing. And guess what? Now I've seen 10, 15 clients. They weren't paying clients, but they were real people that you really hypnotized that loved the experience. Does that sound familiar, RaeAnn?
It does. I remember you saying that to me. And I remember like being so nervous to have that first practice client that I didn't know. And I was like, I can't do that. It's so nervous. I'm so nervous. And it was amazing. The experience was just like, it was priceless, because I remember it didn't go according to plan. And I remember having my next weekly session with you, and I was like, I'm going to change it all. It was the confidence script. And I was like, I'm going to change it because, she must have missed when I said she's supposed to, talk to the little one. And you were like, wait. You don't go and change what's worked for years because one person didn't connect with it, or one person didn't get the message of what they were supposed to do. And Cal, can I tell you, I was about to rewrite the whole thing because of one experience. And it was really probably my fault, right? Like I must have, said something or did something for her not to understand what the instruction was. But you also helped me. It could have just been her defense mechanisms, right? It could have been something where she wasn't ready to take it there yet. And so having that insight from the people that you don't know, that are not trying to sugarcoat or, consider your ego in any way, they're going to give you the real feedback. And that was priceless.
Now, was that a paying client or a feel-good client?
No, that was a feel good practice client. So the pressure was off completely. I think if I would have charged that person, I probably would have given their money back. I was so new at that point.
Right.
But you were like, no, the system works. Trust the system. And every single time after that, it has worked.
That's right. Hey, she might have picked up on your nervousness or something, right? Or that script is a little, for some people, invasive for a feel-good session. That particular script, the confidence script where they talk a little bit and stuff like that, is might be a little bit too emotionally packed for a feel-good session. But if they're coming in for something that's important to them, no problem. But did you just do one feel-good session, or did you do more?
I did 3 while I was working with you, and then I did a couple more in the beginning of the mastermind, and then I started charging. I felt like just one more practice, one more practice. And they were all so different. I mean, you really got a feel of people. Some people take it seriously, some people don't. Some people show up on time, some people don't. Like you get thrown into this world of like of really becoming a professional.
Mhm.
And it's free, right? So there's no pressure.
I mean, there's a modicum of pressure. You want to do it right. You don't want to look silly,
Right.
right? But it's not nearly like if they're paying you $100, $200, $300, $400 a session, right?
Right. Right.
But,
And I did find that in my own, when I was starting to charge, I Googled at your advice, what, other hypnotists in the area. And I got the average of what the charges were. And so I went there right to the average. And I just felt that was a little too high for me at that level. And so as I was not getting clients because I didn't feel in tune with the offer. And as soon as I lowered it just a little bit, I think it took like $50 off. I lowered it just a little bit, and boom, the clients were coming in because I was able to believe that that was a fair price. And now I'm back up. I'm back up to where we started. So all is good.
all right. Awesome. Good. Let's see if we can squeeze one small question in.
Okay. So I think I had another question, but you already answered it. So it was like you answered it in one of the other questions. So I'm gonna go off on a rail here, and I'd like to see where Cal Banyan sees the hypnosis profession going in the next couple of years.
Well, in the next couple of years, nothing much is going to change. Um, but in the long term, 5, 10, 15 years, that I see that more and more people, well, for one thing, even more people are going to be online, obviously, right? We're going to have an invasion of AI, artificial intelligence, right? And so that's going to split hypnosis services into what will be a commodity and luxury. I think it's going to split us into 2 different levels. Commodity is everything about tech becomes cheaper over time, right? And so the AI hypnotist is going to become a phenomenon. And the person who is the breathing, heart beating hypnotist is going to have to say, okay, this is why I'm better, right? Now, AI can out calculate me like crazy. It can write program code a gazillion times better than me. Okay. It can probably write a TV script better than me. I know for sure it could, right? But guess what? The AI, artificial intelligence, cannot relate to a person, and a person cannot relate to it. AI cannot care about you. And there's a lot that goes on in the human interaction of understanding and empathy. And also, AI is always going to be a step behind, or 2 or 3 or 4 steps behind, because at present, it just gets its information by sucking off the internet. And especially if you're a 5-pather, we're already many steps ahead of the average hypnotist. And so if there was an AI hypnotist, what are they doing? They're scraping all this information off the internet of mediocre average hypnotists and then regurgitating it in a heartless way. Now, I know this, that when people call up, the 2 most common questions is how much and how many sessions. And and we train people how to handle that perfectly. And there's nobody training AI to that. So they're just going to put the menu on the website, stop smoking, whatever, and the price will go down. The AIs are going to compete against each other, and it's going to go. So low quality, cheap. And so the hypnotist of the next 5-10 years has got to be able to say, this is why I'm better. And connect with them. Call me up. Let's talk about it. And I think that's the big challenge over the next 5 years or 10 years. And then what's also going to happen is, like right now, a medical school is looking into doing research on why seventh path works so good. They're going to do a longitudinal 5-year study, and their lab rats are going to be medical students, which I think is just awesome. But what's going to happen is we're going to get more outcome-based research on more sophisticated techniques like 5-path and 7-path, whereas the research that's out there right now is extremely basic. Like, is the person hypnotized? Does the brain work differently under hypnosis? They're not really studying hypnotherapy and the interactive hypnosis work that we do. What they do is which induction works better, or this kind of stuff. And so, but I expect that studies like they're going to be doing at this medical hospital about 7-path is going to start breaking things open, and that research is going to bring the profession to a higher level of acceptance among the public and also against medical and psychological professionals. So that's what I think. What do you think?
Well, I love that I got to pick your brain there. I wasn't even thinking AI, but yeah, AI is huge. And I'm really grateful for the fact that most of our stuff is not online. Most of our 5-path teachings, like 7-path, is not online anywhere, right? So I feel like AI can't pick it up and steal it from us, right? So that they have to come to us for that. And that sets us apart right there. We can use AI, of course, to help our business and, get some email templates and stuff like that. But, AI cannot replace us. So I love that. I love that reassurance from you. Yeah.
All right. So back at you. Wrap it up.
All right. Well, thank you, Cal, so much for this opportunity. I thank you for all 3 of these episodes. I thank you for letting me pick your brain. But most importantly, I thank you for creating this, being fearless, being the trailblazer, trusting your gut and your vision. I know that's not always easy, though you make it look really easy. So thank you for that, because again, I've said it many times, without your vision, without your technique, without your structure, without your life experiences to pull it all together, we wouldn't be here. So I thank you tremendously from the bottom of my heart for this opportunity and everything you do.
Boy, you're welcome. And I want to thank you for being courageous, because it's not easy to, first of all, step up and decide on hypnosis, and then recognizing that you wanted to be the best of the best. 5-path is not easy, but it's worth it. And also then for accepting my invitation to do these videos, much appreciated. And now to you guys out there, and gals, of course, you want to be one of the best of the best? You want to join a community of really caring professionals? Go to calbanyan.com. My course schedule is always there. And also, while you're there, you can look through my entire list of over 600 videos on just about everything in the world of hypnosis, with wonderful co-hosts like RaeAnn or Celeste, or it goes on and on and on. All right, with that, Cal Banyan signing off.